So an offsetting roof truss has a vertical angle, the angle at the top, 120 degrees, and rafter lengths 8 feet 10 inches, 10 feet 6 inches. So as soon as you see offsetting roof truss, make sure you draw a triangle that is not balanced with the span. So something like this. So remember, you can't cut it in half. Okay, so vertical angle is 120 degrees. So that's up here. So remember, that's vertical angle. Bottom two are called pitches. So we got a rafter length of 8 feet 10 inches. So go 8 times 12 plus 10. So you got 106. So I'll put that one over here. So that's 106 inches. And then you've got 10 feet. So 10 times 12 plus 6. So you got 126 inches. And you're going to solve for the span, so x down here. So if you try the sine law, you'll have two unknowns. So you don't have a matching pair. So if you look at it, there's no matching pair. See, you're missing x on this one. If I look at this one, you're missing an angle, so that's no good. And for this one, you're missing an angle. So whenever that happens, you must use the cosine law. So let's look over here in your trig section. So go to your formula package and you're going to look at cosine law. So here's the formula, cosine law. It's actually the same formula um, written three ways, but it's actually the same formula each time. So I'm just going to pick one. So it just depends which one you name A or B kind of thing. So just always refer back to this formula package. So when I label this, so I'm just going to erase this for a second and redraw it. So we have 120 degrees up here. And then we had 126 inches here, and we had 106 inches over here. So if I call this top one A, then this little one is A across from each other. So let's just say we're working with that one. So then we have A squared equals, so from the formula, then it's B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cos A from our formula package. So if I call this side B, that means little b is this one. If I call this C, little c is this one. So lowercase letters are side lengths, uppercase letters are angles. So if I rewrite this formula now, just plugging everything in, you've got B, so B is 106 in this example, squared plus 126 squared minus 2 times 106 multiplied with 126 multiplied with cos, and the angle was 120 degrees. So if you have a good calculator, you could probably type this all in one line and it'll spit out an answer. If you don't have a good calculator, then do this step by step. So 106 squared, you could probably get away with 106 squared plus 126 squared and hit equals. So I'm just going to do that. So that part is 27,112. Okay, now this part's important. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore that subtraction sign for now. So I'm going to type in cos 120 and I'm going to hit equals. And I notice that it's a negative zero point 0.5. So I'm going to times that with 126 and then I'm going to times it with 106 and then I'm going to multiply it and I'm going to multiply it with negative 2. So because cos 120 was a negative and I'm multiplying with that negative 2 or subtract 2, it ends up being plus, and that's where people make mistakes. So I'm actually going to say plus 13,356. Okay, so this whole part works out to that. Okay, so just be careful. Or you can write it as subtract negative 13,356. And remember, two negatives make a positive. So I'm going to add them together, those two numbers. And then I get a squared to be 40,468. Now remember, we're not solving for a squared, I'm solving for a. So remember, you have to square root this answer. And this will give me the side length. So square root of that number is 201. 0.166 um, 6 inches because everything was in inches. So convert the span to feet inches. That's the staircase method. So I'm not going to do that. So number 13, calculate the remaining angles. So I need to solve for angle B and angle C. I'll do this question once because it's the same process. So I'm just going to erase this part because all I care about is the answer. So now you can use sine law because I have a matching pair. So I have 201. So I'm going to write that down. So I've got 201 is down here, 201.1666 inches. So by doing that, now I can do a matching pair and use sine law. So my matching pair is my A's. So I'll solve for angle B first. So angle B, and like I said, whenever I'm trying to solve for something, I like to put that in the numerator. So I'm going to write actually sine B first. So it's reverse of what's in your formula package. It's okay as long as I'm consistent. Over little b was 106 equals. So I got to be consistent. If I have sine up top, I got to write sine up top again. So sine and then the angle, so 120 over 201 0.1666. So what you can do now is, like I said before, work out the right-hand side. So I'm going to rewrite sine B over 106. And I'm just going to type it in my calculator. So sine 120 divided by 201.1666 equals. So I've got a weird number in my calculator. It says times 10 to the negative 3. So what that means is it's 3 decimal places to the left. So my calculator shows this 4.305 times 10, and I see a negative 3 like this. So what that means is it's actually 3 decimal places. You got to move to the left. 1, 2, 3. I'll put a dot here. So that means there's zeros here actually. So the actual number is really 0.004305. That's what the real number is. So I'm going to put that over 1 and I'm going to cross multiply. So I'm going to take that number, which I'm just going to leave on my calculator, and I'm just going to multiply that by 106. So what do I got? I've got sine B equals 0.45633. Now, if you don't get 0 point something, then the next step is you'll get an error. Okay, so whenever you do sine inverse, which is what I'm about to do, you must do sine inverse of something that's 1 or less. Otherwise, you'll get error on your calculator. So you're doing the sine inverse of this decimal number. So remember, on your calculator, you got to use the shift button or second function button. So I'm just going to go shift sine. So it's sine inverse of my answer there. And I've got 27. And to the nearest whole degree is good enough. So 27 degrees. And then you could just do this question again, all over again. And it's to solve for angle A. Or if you're clever, you can do 180 minus those two other angles. And that would give you angle C as well.